What's up, everybody? This is Whisky in the Six. I'm Rob. Doing a Bunnahabhain Amontillado finish. This was distilled in 2003, bottled in 2019. It's just under 16 years old. I'm going to nose this, taste it, give it a mark. Alright, this is bottle number 799 of 1,710 bottles. It's 57.4%. These ones don't come in tins for whatever reason. I believe they are UK Europe exclusives. I got this in a trade. I actually traded good value for this bottle. This bottle was estimated to be worth about $600 Canadian. In my opinion, Bunnahabhain is going absolutely crazy on the secondary market, and I'm not sure it's for good reason, to be honest with you. That's a little sneak peek to this Thursday's Whiskey Rant with Jeremy and myself. But before I get too much into that, I'm going to nose this, taste it, and give it a mark like I said. This is a Amontillado finish for 2 years. Before that, I'm assuming it's probably bourbon casks. I'm not exactly sure, but like I said, it's almost 16 years old, not quite. So it's 15 years old. The nose is pretty. It's got some nice, sweet, fruity elements to it. It's got a little bit of chocolate on the nose. About halfway down this bottle now. Not quite halfway, but getting there. Definitely some chocolatey notes on the nose. Maybe a touch of salt. On the palate, again, sweet, maybe a little salty, definitely some chocolate. More on the dark chocolate kind of notes. Maybe a little espresso in there as well. Easy drinking stuff. This has improved quite a bit from when I first opened it. At first I wasn't sure I made a good decision. It's getting a lot better for sure. Keep in mind it's cask strength. It's one of the older Bunnahabhains that are coming out with these wine finishes, and the younger ones are going for astronomical prices on secondary. I'm going to add a little bit of water here. I'm going to see if anything happens, and then I'm going to give it a mark. Okay, so the fruit notes come out a little bit more on the nose now with some water. Maybe some berry kind of notes in there. If you like that chocolatey note, I would suggest not to add water because the water has muted those chocolatey notes a little bit and more fruit has come through. There is still a hint of chocolate in there though. Okay. Palate opens up a little bit more buttery now. Still those chocolate notes are on the palate. Maybe a little bit more fruit, some berry notes. I'm thinking like strawberry. Definitely dark chocolate heavy. A little bit more espresso as well. It's nice. It's very nice stuff. Is it worth $600? I don't think so. And I don't think the retail price on this was that much less. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was probably around €300 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a bit less. Either way, I traded value-wise close to $600 for this. So when we're entering that $600 range, I feel like you should be getting a little bit more. Do I like this? Yeah. Am I going to enjoy the rest of this? Absolutely. Obviously, I'm not going to buy another one for that price. I don't think it's worth it. The thing with Bunnahabhain is they check all the boxes. They're almost always unchill filtered, no added color. This one's cask strength. A lot of their wine cask influenced whiskeys are cask strength. So they're doing so much right when it comes to appealing to the whiskey geek, and that's what's made these secondary prices skyrocket. But it's a little disheartening because we're talking about a company that did a really good job of keeping their whiskeys reasonable, especially in the core range. Last sip, I'm going to give this one a mark. Yeah, so really good stuff. If you can find this for a really good deal, I would say pick it up. It has gotten a lot better from when I first opened it. Maybe even a little bit of cinnamon notes in there as well in the finish. The finish is lasting a little longer now than it did when I first opened the bottle for sure, and that's probably the biggest difference. I would say that this is an 88, 89. A couple years ago I might have given this a higher mark. I just can't justify quality versus price ratio, and for that reason it's like an 88, 89. I think it's very good stuff. I'm not going to replace it because of the price. Usually at the 88 mark I tend to replace those bottles, but because this is so expensive, I'd rather just move on to something that's more likely to be a 90 or higher. I think in the $600 range you should be nailing 90s every single time. Unfortunately that doesn't happen here. Good stuff, just not incredible. Like I said, 88 is probably the mark that I would have to give this one. Good stuff. That's it for me, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, you can hit the subscribe button. You can hit the bell to get notifications for when I do release a video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Support this channel on Patreon if you like. And check out our podcast, The Whiskey Rant, wherever you find your podcasts. Cheers.